take the banner down? Okay, stand by 10 seconds. Now, Siam. Sk'ali'Ch'elh Siam. So here Laquinas Natacho, Tiakaya, Siam and Sk'ali'Ch'elh, Salkadab, Sanasnat. It's true. My heart is glad to be here with each and every one of you here on World Whale Day, hosted from throughout the Pacific Northwest, including the home of Sk'ali'Ch'elh-tenaut, TokiTV. You know her stage name as Lolita. She's being held in the Miami Sea Prison at the abusement park for the last 50 years. And so we're using this moment here, thanking each of you from around God's universe, around wherever you're watching. Please type in your comments, your prayers, where you're praying from. We're here in a good mind and a good heart. Ike swallowing, as Uncle Doug James would say. Sidki Kadam, Siamawit is here with us backstage. We also have live on the scene at the Miami Aquarium our friend Alejandro Dintino, and we have Howard Garrett with us from the Orca Network, as well as our good friend Sk'ali'Ch'elh-tenaut. Raynell, good to see you. My relative Lawrence Curtis from Miami, our most famous underwater cinematographer, has blessed us with our presence. And then here in the Northern Salish Sea, Deb Cruz. I want to introduce you to Annette Martinez, who has produced and choreographed today's event. We're certainly glad that you're here joining us online on YouTube. If you have networks to share with Lolita, we appreciate Joe Phillips in London and our friends in South Africa and New Zealand. Welcome to each and every one of you. At this time, we're going to open up in a good way. We'll turn it over to Siamawit, Uncle Sidki Kadam, and with our opening blessing here from the North Salish Sea.
I want to say hello to everyone out there. I want to lift you all up in a prayer today, wherever you are, and asking the Creator to watch over each and every one of you that has a prayer in your heart on this day. For those that can't speak out and allowing us to be the voice for them, like the Sk'ali'Ch'elh-tenaut, the dolphins, all those have been in captivity for so many years, entertaining the human being for a almighty dollar. But with that, we're going to reach out and ask the Lord to bless each and every one. Thanking you for taking this breath of time out of your lives to be with us today. And we're just going to share a prayer song with you, asking the Creator to bless this gathering here today. Osiam. This is from our 1910 Shaker Church.
Quotes man, seat to Santa Spray. Oh, my sister. Quotes man, seat to Santa Spray. Oh, my sister. Quotes man, seat to Santa Spray. Oh, my sister. Oh, 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 Our Heavenly Father who watches over us all, we just lift this song up and we ask you to look upon all of our relatives who are needing our prayers today. Our relatives, our Quomiston, our relatives who live under the Sailor Sea, our relatives who lives amongst the vast waters of this world, Lord. This world, this mundo, this world that we all live in, Lord. One world, one creator, one love. We ask you to just to bless all of them that are suffering, that we're praying for the salmon, we're praying for the breachings of the dams so that our whales can eat freely. We're praying most especially today for our beloved sister, Sk'ali'Ch'elh-tenaut, who's been held in the prison for 52 years now, and she's enduring poor health because of this captivity, and we're asking you in your most loving way to set her free. We're asking this miracle that you could bestow upon her and return her back to her beautiful family who is swimming here in the Sailor Sea, and we're asking you to return her back to her mother, Ocean Sun, who is alive and waiting for her daughter, who's been waiting for half of a century now for her daughter to come back. But that's our faith that we have, is that she is going to return. We're asking you to recognize the faith that we have in our heart, Recognize the hope and the love that we have in our heart today as we come together as one family, one voice, one song, one embrace, Lord. We're asking this in your most precious name, Lord Jesus Christ. Amen. Qualsnats man, seat to Santa Spray. Oh, Masista. Qualsnats man, seat to Santa Spray. Oh, Masista. Qualsnats man, seat to Santa Spray. Oh, Masista. Haishka, family.
Thank you all.
Thank you so very much for opening us up. Such a beautiful way. Thank you so much. We're gonna shift gears. Alejandro Dentino is our activist on the ground. He is there at this aquarium all the time, praying, fighting for. He's just such a huge champion for Lolita Tokite. Alejandro, I'm gonna go to you, and he is live there at this aquarium.
Hello, thank you everybody for letting me be part and showing you today. Just in the back, on my back, behind those trees, is a stadium, the tank where Lolita was kept in captivity for 52 years. It's unbelievable. I started fighting for Lolita, my activism, in 2014, and still is in captivity. We urge the Miami Aquarium to do the right thing. We have a plan for her rehabilitation in place for her rehabilitation. We urge the Miami Aquarium, the mayor, and all those people involved to help Lolita and bring an expert vet who can really check her health condition. She's alive, she's swimming. I know that, we know that, but she needs to recover, and she needs to heal, and she needs to go back home because her mother, Ocean Sun, is over 90 years old and still is waiting for her. What can I tell you? Most of the people know what I have done for Lolita, documentaries, interviews in radio station, TV. I help organizations that really fight for Lolita. I support Lami people with 100% of my heart because I know they are doing all the efforts to get this angel back to the Lami land, to the Lami territory. So I feel so proud of all of you for everything you are doing for Lolita. Thank you so much.
Haishka, Siam, Alejandro.
Haishka.
Thank you for all your good work. It doesn't go unrecognized. I want the world to know Alejandro has been out there every day, every weekend. And we can't do this good work without you, Alejandro. And so just sending our heartfelt Haishka, our heartfelt love and honor and respect to the good work that you're doing, and really appreciate the love that you have for Sk'ali'Ch'elh-tenaut, for Tokita, for Lolita. We really, really thank you for the good work that you're doing. And we know you're going to join us a little bit later, but hey, round of applause. We'll have a round of applause for Alejandro from across the world. And we raise our hands, sigh it in a good way, Alejandro. Thank you. Right
From the Sailor Seas, Haishka.
Right now, we're going to go down to our friends in Woodby Island, to our whale expert. He's at the Orca Network. He's been fighting for Lolita for the past generation, and he knows the story and is going to share the story of Lolita. At the same time, sharing with us, whales are people too. And as our elder Raynell will explain, as Uncle Doug and Siamawit, our elders will explain, just like the Quahomachton, the Orca family, they are our relatives. They are people. They are our relatives. And so really am glad and honored to know this young man. Again, he's lives 10 miles from Penn Cove, down by the ancient village of Sk'ali'Ch'elh. That's where Sk'ali'Ch'elh-tenaut gets her Indian name, as given by our beloved late Chief Salik a few years back. And so, Howard Garrett, good to see you, my friend. The floor is yours. Again, please keep your comments coming in from around the world, and thanking everyone that is participating in our worldwide live event for our relative Sk'ali'Ch'elh-tenaut. Howard Garrett, you young man, good to see you, my friend. The floor is yours. You're muted, Howard. Sorry.
There. Am I making noise now?
There you go, young man.
Right. Thank you, Freddie and Annette, for wrangling this event together, and everyone who is here and everyone who is taking part in this. I appreciate this so much. This attention goes to Toki, to TokiTV in her tank, and she feels it. I am sure that she does. I just have a few brief comments. I got started in this actually in the scientific part of it back in 1980, 81 as an assistant researcher out on the water with the whales virtually every day for half of every year or so, and immersed in the growing science, the understanding of these whales, of her family, and as of orcas around the world, the whole natural history picture. And then in 1995, got involved in this campaign, this effort, this prayer, this spiritual journey to try to bring her home. And it became very important because I knew her family, and because I could speak to her connection, her bonds, her family ties, her upbringing, how she was raised by her family, by her presumed mother, ocean sun, and all of the family. It takes a village, and it takes a pod. It takes the whole family to raise an orca. And she was raised. She was brought up. She was taught how to communicate, how to catch fish, all the skills, all the traditions, all the ways of life, the gathering, the socializing, the super pod celebrations. Every move they make is with their families. And then she was ripped out of that back in 1970. Terrible. So I have been trying to think strategically, along with all our efforts, our prayers, our songs, our protesting at the Seaquarium. Thank you, Alejandro, and all the warriors that are there, is to look at what is holding her back. What are the bonds that are keeping her there? And of course, there are the laws, the property laws, and all the other laws that we have to try to address and defeat. But it's also the words, the beliefs, the propaganda, the constant PR from the Seaquarium saying that basically the biggest one that they continue to say, and have all the time that I have been involved in this, is that she's just too old. Of course, they said that 26 years ago, and she's definitely been living a long time, but she is not. I'll say categorically right now, she is not geriatric. She is not past her prime. She is not an old whale. And the simplest way to understand that, the statistics are all over the place. Easy to lie with the statistics that are in the books, because They are incomplete. They are rough estimates, and they don't really tell the story, because the real story is that orca lifespans are just very much like ours, like human lifespans, with a little more dimorphism. In other words, the females live a little longer than human females, probably in a pristine, wild, natural condition, and the males a little less. So there's a little more difference, but it's basically like human lifespans. So she is about 55, 56. That's not that old. Ask any 55, 56-year-old woman if that's really old. They're not geriatric. They're not incapable. They can, talk to Tina Turner or J-Lo. They can get up and dance and play and long past 55. So my point is, she is perfectly able, if she is essentially healthy, unless there is some debilitating issue that we don't know about, which is why we need to demand, as we have, a thorough medical and behavioral examination, so that we'll have the facts on the table, so that we'll know, and it's not just opinions about, is she sick, is she deathly ill or not. But as Alejandro says, she is swimming around, she's alive. We know that from yesterday. So she is really okay, and she could travel. There's no reason she could not. Every time they say she wouldn't survive the move, answer that. It's got to be knocked down. She definitely would, and she is not past her ability to travel. Another thing I want to mention is Larry Curtis actually asked me, how do I keep my hope alive? There's a lot of people who are having a hard time keeping that hope alive right now. And I just have to say, she is my mentor. She is my example. I have learned from her. When I started this, it was a worthy effort, a very good cause. I believed in it, but I didn't know her. But over the years, I've come to appreciate her inner strength, her courage, her gentleness, and her keen awareness of what is going on, but her ability to persevere, to go through it every day, the same routines, the same, horrible things that they make her do. But she faces it. She does it every day. And that has been an inspiration to me. That has really helped me to keep going on her behalf. If she can do it, I can do it. And she is doing it. So that's my answer to that, is that she is my inspiration. As long as she can go, I can go. So I also want to say something. Is it possible, Annette, to play that video that I sent? Because I want to give you a sense of how she can relate. I hope I can still have audio while that's playing. We'll see.
Hey, sweetheart. Hi, Toki. I love you, baby. It's my last day, and I'm gonna miss you so much. I love you. I love you. I love you so much. We haven't forgotten you, baby. We've not forgotten you. Loving mission is still coming for you. Yeah, we've got so many people who love you, baby. So many people are fighting for you. I'm not gonna give up, honey. I'm not gonna give up on you. You're doing so well, honey. on the horizon. Howard and Susan love you. Everybody at Lummi Nation loves you. There's so many people who are looking out for you, baby.
Wow. That was taken in November 2020 by Rachel Anderson, who went to see her for 3 days, went to 6 shows altogether, and she built this trusting relationship with her. And that shows me that she still is in touch. She still is aware. She still feels our emotions and our love for her, our affection, and that brings her around, and she'll be able to accomplish whatever is needed for her to move home with the help of loving companions, affection like that, reaching out. She'll understand what is asked, and she will trust a trustworthy person. And that gives me great hope. She's still ready. She still can do it. I know it. So that's how I have hope. Thank you.
That is, wow, that video is so touching, Howard. Imagine Howard, she was a baby. So since it's World Whale Day, I just want to ask you, as a baby, she heard that all her life. And
Well,
how she must be brainwashed.
well,
Baby Lolita. Go ahead, Howard.
she was about 4 years old. We don't know exactly, but they were taking them a little larger in those early years. And then they wanted them more like 2 years old. But they were taking them at about 4 years old. Of course, they didn't know it was all by length. But in those years, she learned everything she needs to know. Orcas are very precocious, very quick to learn everything. And she was communicating. She was catching her own fish already from about age 1. She had all the knowledge that she needed to be a southern resident orca and a member of her pod and her family. And I don't believe that ever goes away. Her memory is still intact. There have been so many good clues, evidence that they have very long memories. They say an elephant never forgets. Well, an orca, even more so, never forgets. And nothing is more important than their home, their family, their skills. And I just don't think that goes away. It may take a little refreshing, like riding a bike, you have that muscle memory, it's all in you. And I think it's all in her to know what she needs to know when she comes back. So her waters will feel familiar. They'll feel like home. They'll feel like finally she's come home. And I think it'll be so healthy. It'll be so therapeutic. It'll make her feel so much better to be home. She'll be eager to look around and explore. It'll just bring out the best in her when she comes home. So, yeah, she wasn't just a baby, and that isn't all she knows. She knows where she came from and who she is. I'm sure of it.
It's just a fascinating discussion. Thank you. Thank you, Howard. And if you're just joining us, this is World Whale Day, February 20th, 2022. I'm Sk'ali'Ch'elh-tenaut. I'm a former council member here at the Lummi Nation. I don't speak on behalf of the council. I speak on behalf of myself and my clan, and I come from the Golden Eagle clan, and I speak on behalf of my family. And we're here. We have just a beautiful lineup of Sk'ali'Ch'elh-tenaut lovers, Lolita lovers, TokiTV, Team TokiTV, here and around the world. We thank everyone for tuning in. We're going to pick a date coming up here in March. Just be aware we're going to announce a World Water Day and have blessing ceremonies around the world. We'll be bringing that to you a little later before we finish here in about 90 minutes or so. We're about halfway through our today's program. Again, thanking all of our guests. Hey, if you're just joining us, welcome. Thank you. Share with your networks. We're here trying to save Lolita. We're trying to bring her home back to her family in the Salish Sea. I won't take too much longer to introduce my friend, Raynell Morris. Is been a part of the Lummi Sovereignty and Treaty Protection Task Force in the past, just a couple years ago, and she's now advocating for Lolita's release. And so, Raynell, my relative, good to see you. I apologize. I'll give you 50 cents the next time I see you for forgetting your Clactamish name. But the floor is yours, my friend. Good to see you. Welcome.
Hi, Shkasiam. To all of you, you're all my friends and relatives. Just thanking you. I thank everyone that has been praying for her, that loves her, and has stayed with her. Now is not the time to waver or to give up. Hope is near. The light is shining brighter. I'm Sk'ali'Ch'elh-tenaut, Chuck Lummy's son. Raynell Morris is my English name. I'm from Lummi Nation. I am a mom, I'm a grandmother, and I consider Sk'ali'Ch'elh-tenaut my Salish Sea daughter. And my sacred obligation, as it's been given to me by my ancestors, is to do the work to bring her home. And that's what it is. I will do everything in my power. Everybody that I need to talk to, reach out to, I will. And so I want to share with you, in the 50th anniversary of her captivity at Miami Seaquarium, my tribal sister, Tomas Ellie Kinley, and I, and our Seminole relative, Samuel Tommy, went and did water ceremony. We were denied access to her to pray with her. And so we chartered a boat, and the captain got us as close as we could to her intake, where we put lactamish medicine in the water and a cedar bough in the water, that medicine and that smell of the cedar would go through her intake to her tank, so she would know family was there. And so when she comes home, that will be familiar to her. That smell she'll remember is her home. So if I could ask Annette to show that video, and then I have some remarks after that. We're here this morning, the 23rd at Miami Seaquarium, to do a water ceremony for our relative Sk'ali'Ch'elh-tenaut. We're in Seminole territory, and we've invited our friend Samuel Tommy, who's Seminole, to play the flute for her. We're right outside MSQ, and our hope and prayer is the flute will go across the water into her tank, and she'll be comforted and know we're praying for her.
We brought cedar all the way from the Pacific Northwest. So our people tell a story of our salmon returning to their streams by the smell of their cedar. So we brought cedar so that she knows. Sk'ali'Ch'elh-tenaut! 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 We promised when you heard a drum, it's your heartbeat, it's our heartbeat. I Sk'ali'Ch'elh-tenaut, one mind, one spirit. You know you're not alone. We love you. Your people love you. Your mother wants you home. We're sorry, but no, we're coming. It won't be long. You need to ready your spirit. The sound of the flute, sound of the drum. Ready your spirit. You'll have a long trip. We love you. I Sk'ali'Ch'elh-tenaut, one heart, one mind. Your heartbeat, our heartbeat. Your mothers, your relatives, the Lactamish people are here. We'll bring you home.
Hi, Shka, for allowing me to share that with you. We had so many advocates that are there in Miami. We don't do this work alone. It takes all of us for the love and the advocacy to make this movement to bring our Salish Sea daughter home. Some of the current things that we've been doing since there have been, in the last 2 weeks, conflicting health reports, some saying very dire, MSQ saying, oh no, she was ill, but now she's better, and it's gone back and forth. And this is where we put out a call to action. We ourselves, our Sacred Lands Conservancy, our nonprofit, we sent letters to USDA, to NOAA, to NIPS, to the Miami-Dade Commission, to the mayor of Miami, saying because of these conflicting reports and the love for our relative, we want her to get the very best care that she needs. In order to do that, we need the truth. How is she? What's she doing? What does she need? And MSQ, if you don't have anything to hide, why do you object? It would just be like what I do for myself, what I do for my family. You get a second opinion, you get a third opinion until you're satisfied that you're going to get the care and treatment that you need. That's all we're asking for. And it must have been probably a good week ago now, we reached out to the mayor of Miami and said, we want to talk to you in our own direct way. Because of COVID, because of the distance, she was gracious, and we had a Zoom with her our team with her and her team. And we shared our concerns. And we also, what was new to her is the same as what Howard said. She didn't know. She believed these terms that MSQ is using, their propaganda. Oh, she's geriatric, she's old. And we shared that same story with her. Her mother is 93. Sk'ali'Ch'elh-tenaut is believed to be 56. There's 37 proven more years for her if she gets the right care for her health, and for her spirit. She's got a lot of life to live. And it's our sacred obligation to reunite her with her mother, to reunite her with her Lactamish family. And so that was the discussion we had with the mayor. Her team, they understood. They told us that she had her people, along with the USDA investigators, on a regular basis in there. And we shared that our advocate had sent us a drone video, much different to what MSQ's video showed, bright blue water, how happy she was with her trainers. The drone video taken that day, we showed how dirty her tank was, how sad she looked. Our fear for her well-being was raised. Yet again, that conflict, what MSQ was showing, what we were seeing with our own eyes. And so we told the mayor this: it's critical to get this independent expert for a comprehensive health exam and to look at what her health is, to look at what her behavior needs are, because there were also reports of aggression. And we know when you're frustrated and you don't know how to get help for yourself, it comes out in aggression. We want to comfort her. We want her spirit to be comforted. And that's what we're trying to do for her. And then just recently, I'm looking for the date here. After we did the Zoom call with the mayor on the 18th, the Miami-Dade Board of Commissioners wrote a memo to the mayor echoing exactly what we have asked for. They recommend an independent expert go in and not only evaluate her health, but also evaluate her ability to be transported. This is good news that they're saying and echoing what we've been asking for. Friday night, we sent that request to the mayor, and we do need to bless her and have prayers for her. Thursday night, her test for COVID came back positive. They closed her office, they're cleaning it. And so we pray for her health and her strength to come back to help do the advocacy and the work for Sk'ali'Ch'elh-tenaut. We haven't got a response back, but we're encouraged that help is on the way soon for our Sk'ali'Ch'elh daughter. And we have all of you around the world that are jumping in and doing the same, advocating for her, praying for her. Don't stop doing this. Don't stop praying. Don't stop hoping. The light is getting brighter for her. We believe. Stand strong with us. Hi, Sk'ali'Ch'elh.
Sayed, I'm going to raise my hands. Thank you, Raynell, for your beautiful words. Raynell, I know there are pending legal matters, but what can we expect here? We were just talking about this backstage before the show about doing a World Water Blessing Day. And March 22nd is going to come pretty fast. But I think that would be really, really beautiful to, again, put the word out to the world right now. And what we're going to remember is our Salish Sea, our Lummi River, Nooksack River, that provides our salmon. But I think that would be a really beautiful inspiration that we come together in just over a month. And let's do that. Let's call all of our friends around the world. And let's do Tuesday, March 22nd. We'll ask Uncle Sidki Kadam and Siamawit and you and Eleanor S. to, I think that would be beautiful to be live from our shores here in the Northern Salish Sea. And that water ceremony was really beautiful. And it's time that we take our message to the world. Right now? Go ahead.
Absolutely, Siam, my friend. It is important to keep the prayer and the power of all of our energy and love that goes to her spirit, to her mother, to her relatives, to our community that is suffering. These prayers are so strong when we stand together to do this. And I have one other, if you're following us on sacredseed.org, you already know this. Through your contributions, we've been able to partner with the Well Sanctuary Project and develop a Lummi home for her. And so we have sent a draft of our plan and the diagram to USDA, to others that have authority, to let them know it's not just Sk'ali'Ch'elh-tenaut elders advocating for her. We have partnered with international worldwide experts in the field of science, biology, orca, experts, Sk'ali'Ch'elh people. And it's encompassed in this plan to show them we're doing cultural science, biology together. We understand that that's what it's going to take. It's going to take the Western way. It's going to take the indigenous way to hold hands and walk together to build her a Lummi home.
And we can find what's the GoFundMe now. The GoFundMe account is helping you and Eleanor S. With the battle, right? And then I just love. Somebody always asks me, "Well, you guys just can't throw her in it. We're not going to throw her into the Salish Sea. We're not going to drive her 4,000 miles and just throw her into the sea, right? We have a plan.
She's going first class.
She's going first class, and that is very important for everybody to know. They're our relatives, right? Right now. Anything else you want to add, Raynell, as far as your website? You want to share with the world your website and any other information?
Hi, Freddie. We are the Sacred Lands Conservancy. We're a 501c3, Indigenous led by 2 Sk'ali'Ch'elh elders, and we have our website, sacredseed.org. We have a GoFundMe that's funding this work. We also have been able to share the story to her. She cried. She wants to help. She's tweeted a couple of times to bring the Hollywood star power to this. So the family, the standing together and holding hands is expanding. It's getting stronger. It's getting longer. Pretty soon it'll be around the world, and it'll be there to carry her home.
Our work is never ending. It's been going on for a generation. And all of us, we're so, again, blessed to have each and every one of us here. Hey, if you're just joining us, we're finishing our first hour here with, we just finished with our dear friend and Lummi tribal elder, Raynell Morris. Her and Eleanor are 2 Sk'ali'Ch'elh elders that are leading a legal battle, but not only that, there's a spiritual battle that we're entered into at this point. And right now, it's bringing our relative home. It's bringing Sk'ali'Ch'elh-tenaut home. And there's nobody. I am just excited to see his underwater video. But our friend Lawrence Curtis, he's based out of Miami. Lawrence, I want to give you the floor. Thank you for coming on to our virtual fire, and thank you for being here in our inaugural broadcast of our Saving Lolita, Saving TokiTV, Saving Sk'ali'Ch'elh-tenaut until she comes home. And so, Lawrence, you want to introduce yourself and your video?
Thank you, Freddie, very much for that great introduction. I'm incredibly honored to be here today and welcome everybody that's joining on the various different live streams. And, you know, for me, this is about a solution to something that's been incredibly frustrating. And it's also an incredibly deep honor. There is no choice to make other than the right one. And the fact that I've been honored to be a part of this feeds my soul. It puts purpose to my life, and it puts purpose to what my life's passion has been as one of the few very, very honored people to be able to commune with dolphins and whales, cetaceans in the wild. I don't know if I should go into my background so much. There was a comment on one of our friends' pages last night that wanted to take a little bit of a reprieve from the heaviness of all of this, and they had asked, you know, what was the first time you saw an orca? And of course, I think about the first time I saw orcas or wild dolphins almost every day. But instead of telling kind of that story, there's something about being in this position of being in the company of whales and in the kingdom of dolphins. Most scientists and most people don't want to take that leap to talk about not just the intrinsic value of being in nature, but what it really is in the truth of, yes, science, but also our human experience. To look into the eye of a whale, or to hear a whale song, or to hear the exuberance of a dolphin leaping out of the water. But to come into their presence is something that really isn't discussed so much. And it's something that has really driven me from my childhood curiosity to this day, and hopefully furthermore. They are us. The science shows that in their neurology, they have areas of their brains that are attributed, that we share, that are attributed to self-awareness, sense of self, sense of self-consciousness, sense of family, sense of community, and something greater. Now, I personally can't speak on their behalf. I try my best to use my film work, and more so now my art and immersive theater work, to show the expressions of what they are in the natural world. And of course, to make it as something that is an antithesis or the opposite of these archaic and cruel marine parks. They have the same abilities as we do. We're in a discussion right now. We're using the internet to talk to someone that's maybe next door or on the couch next to us, or someone that's thousands of miles away. We have our opposable thumbs to create that technology, and we've done it for all the good and all the bad. They do that biologically. This is something that they do in their communication. So as my childhood curiosity is, what are they saying? Are they saying things that are similar to us? Quite possibly, because their neurology shows that. I could go on and on about all this, and if allotted, maybe I can later. But the other aspects are, how do we deal with the frustration? You know, one thing about dolphins and whales is that they're highly emotional. They have emotions like we do. Back when Jane Goodall was studying chimpanzees, it blew the paradigm out of the water, I guess, in some ways, out of the jungle, where it made humans take a look at ourselves. Chimpanzees were seen to be highly social, highly intelligent. We're using tools. We use tools. Homo sapiens, the tool user. It shifted our paradigm. In many ways, we've forgotten that, and I'm not quite sure. It's something we can explore to find out, why do humans don't want to accept truths about the natural world? Well, the truth is, we are nature. We live in a technology-driven world with things, and those can be very distracting. They're certainly nice and wonderful for convenience. But we biologically, spiritually, physically are of the earth and of spirit. And other species are just like us. My experiences are in communing with them, which has been really remarkable. And it's so hard to even put into words. And I've been somewhat quiet over the years because people will not want to believe. It's not a matter of whether you believe it or not. It's just a matter of truth. They are like us. They are emotional. As we are very emotional in this saga that is TokiTV, Sk'ali'Ch'elh-tenaut, it can affect us. It can throw us into a deep depression, maybe. It can throw us into frustrations. That can be harnessed, and that can be towards a solution. This is one of the many collectives, and each and every one of you that are out there today are part of this solution. And we can take our frustrations, we can take our emotions, and we can do direct action. Helping the Lummi First Nation is an incredible honor. And in many ways, this is not about a singular orca that's been in captivity. This is about us. This is about us, regardless of the scenario and how this plays out. We clearly have hope. We are clear, there's clear movements forward, but time is of the essence. In the positive aspect, she goes home. And let's just sit with that for a while. What would that mean to the human species if we achieved this goal? Everything. What would it mean if we didn't achieve this? What would we lose? We often have a very limited attention span for different things. We're always distracted, but we cannot forget what the power of one and the power of the collective can do. And we have a real opportunity to be able to come together with everything and everyone and correct a wrong, correct a sin of the past, and make it right. My story is one of humility, is one of empowerment, is one of trying to get people to unlock that element of our own consciousness in a way so we can be further empowered. What we are looking at here is the legal side of things, the humanity side of things, and I do want to give people that are out there an assurance that the plan that has been in place for the sanctuary and for Toki to go home is a solid one. It has been well thought out by scientists, biologists, people there on the field that have been working for literally decades. And that is very reassuring. When the plan is in place, it will not be a failure. It will be a success. And with everybody's help, not to do a plea or anything like that, but I know that when emotions are high and we get frustrated, well, what can I do? What can I do? Here is the opportunity, and you're part of it. So that's kind of all I really wanted to add today. I mean, I could kind of go on, but I'm just very deeply honored to be part of this. I know no other way personally. It is what my life is, and I am greatly honored and blessed to be able to have these experiences to hopefully relay to others that they are us and we are them. And it's our responsibility to correct this wrong.
Yeah, it's our sacred obligation. It's our sacred duty. You have a beautiful video Annette is going to screen for us here. If you're just joining us, hey, it's World Whale Day. Thanks for joining us. We're here having a prayer for all of our relatives that are in captivity, especially for our beloved Sk'ali'Ch'elh-tenaut, stage name Lolita, who sits in the abusement park at the Miami Sea Prison. Go ahead and roll the video, Annette.
If I can add one thing, just for half a minute, if that's okay. I'm still on stage. Okay.
Of course, you're good.
One thing that I have learned over the years, and it has become incredibly evident, and particularly when I was watching the Miami City Council on their understandings of what dolphins and whales are. So many people don't know. And I find this also part of my responsibility. Orcas are the largest dolphin. So let's get that clear. What I am also endeavoring to do is to help the public education. It is incredibly valuable to be empowered as an activist and to find solutions and direct measures. But it's also very important, as I'm realizing, when I have sat outside with Alejandro outside the Seaquarium, where he's tirelessly out there every week for years. And when there are families that turn around or families that have gone to the show and are just feeling hopeless because their children are asking questions. Why is the tank so small? Why do they not put them in the ocean where they live? These are real questions out of the mouths of babes. And I started realizing that you don't know what you don't know. And though I'm guilty of shaming people a little bit on social media sometimes, and I may not make that many apologies for it because of the frustration, because it's like, just wake up, folks. But I also realized through my compassionate heart and through my life as a storyteller that it is imperative that we better educate the public on who and what dolphins and whales are and why we are collectively so outraged on this level of cruelty and why it is absolutely imperative that she goes home. This is something that I will dedicate even further for the cause because, again, families don't know what they don't know. And we're up against a marketing machine that makes it look all happy and joyful. Years ago, part of my story is that I read Rick O'Barry's book, Behind the Dolphin Smile. And it is a very much an eye-opener. And at that time, I personally was even looking at joining a dolphin facility because it was the only place. And in my graduate work, I was studying dolphin cognition. But then after I went through that and read his book, I had an opportunity to go into the wild with wild dolphins, the ones you just saw in the video, and everything shifted. And so it is important that people understand. And so I will open it up after all of this to provide my information if people or families or children or anyone has questions. And if I don't have the right answer, I'll pass it to those that do. So I appreciate that little extra time.
Thank you so much. Yeah, just thank you. The passion that every single person has on this stream is just, it's very clear. And I know that the folks watching have that as well. We have some questions coming in. Folks want to know things, and some really good questions. So one of them for Uncle Sk'ali'Ch'elh-tenaut and Siamuet, someone is requesting to know the wording of the prayers that you sang at the start. You're muted here. Let's see. There we go.
Hi. Feedback. Oh, hi, Shka, for the question. That was a song that came from the 1910 Indian Shaker Faith. And the meaning of that song is come to the Lord and he will help you. And the Lord is words that we use as come to the Creator and he will help you. So that's a song to help us remember that when we need help, like what we do right now, we turn to the Creator and that he hears our prayers, and like how he's hearing our prayers today for our beloved Sk'ali'Ch'elh-tenaut. So that's an Indian Shaker song that we use today in honor of Sk'ali'Ch'elh-tenaut. But the words that are behind that is come to the Lord, come to the Creator, and he will help you. Aishka.
Oh, Aishka, that's beautiful.
Thank you for that. Well, no, another question coming in right now, I think probably you might be able to answer this with the most knowledge, is someone is asking about whether or not the transfer has been approved between Palace Entertainment and the Dolphin Company yet. You're on mute there, Raina. I think you'll have to do it on your end. It's not letting me unmute you.
Oh, Haishka for the question. We're expecting USDA to complete their investigative report, which is what the mayor and the Miami-Dade Commission need to initiate the license transfer. But this is an opportunity. We testified or made a statement formally in front of the Miami-Dade Board of Commissions when they were entertaining the request for the license transfer to the Dolphin Company. And we did much like we've done here, is to give the background as to why she's our relative, why she's important, how unfair this is, and that it's the right thing to do, and they're in the seat of power to do the right thing. And much like Lawrence Larry said, they don't understand either. They brought their family to the seaquarium to see the animals and haven't gotten to the point of saying, why are they there? Why aren't they in the wild? Why are they separated from their family? And they've asked that now through education, through a lot of people's voices and a lot of written input. They get it now. They are starting to understand that. So to go back to, we're expecting that USDA's report will come in any day. When we have talked to the mayor on the Zoom, it had not been finalized. They had not received it at their office. And again, in the interim, the Miami-Dade Board of Commissioners issued this memo to the mayor supporting the independent healthcare expert to evaluate her health and to evaluate her ability to be transported, which is just huge. And it's everyone's love and prayers and support that are making this happen for our Sailor Sea daughter, Sk'ali'Ch'elh-tenaut.
Thank you. Someone else wants to know what the potential role of the NOAA is. Can you answer that as well?
Yes, that's NOAA. That's a federal agency, and you know how the government likes to have an authority piece. So you've got the mayor's office in Miami, you've got the Board of Commissioners, you've got NOAA, which is a federal agency, you've got USDA federal agency, you've got NIMS, which is under the federal agency. They all have a little bit of part in this because as things are in Indian country, they're not simple. And so there's always this federal oversight, the state oversight, and yet we're saying we're self-governed over our people, and we consider Sk'ali'Ch'elh-tenaut our people, is not fully recognized as a seat at the table. So we have to do the Western way of all these state and federal agencies to do a check mark and stamp, okay, okay, okay. And so we've been very diligent at being inclusive and reaching out to them to help them understand their role, our need, Sk'ali'Ch'elh-tenaut's need, and the ability to right a wrong from 1970. Let's bring her home.
I hate to put all the questions on you right now, but I'm going to post another one that's coming up. Is there a concern that the letters to the USDA, the mayor, etc., will delete the transfer to the Dolphin Company? I think a lot of folks are curious if this is going to have a delay because there's been speculation or some assumption that the Dolphin Company will work with the Lummi tribe.
It's not the Lummi tribe. Again, after preference. This is myself and Tomas, Eleanor Kinley as individual Lactamish matriarch elders doing this initiative. I don't speak for my government, but I'm exercising my inherent right. And we look at this ability to have a dialogue with the Dolphin Company because MSQ is a complex entity in itself. It's owned by Palace Entertainment, who is owned by EQT in Sweden, who is owned by Parcos Rioneros in Spain. So you get all these parent companies that have to say it, and they've been very reluctant to acknowledge our kinship, our relationship with her. We do what we've done. Anybody comes into the picture, we feel like it's an opportunity. So we've done outreach to the Dolphin Company. We've tried to, start that dialogue of why she's important. Now is their time to be the hero, to be the partner. So we really see this as an opportunity and have, been in that place. And that's why I say we're feeling like the light is getting brighter for her.
Thank you. One more question, or maybe a couple more questions. See, people are curious how the transfer is going to be funded, and this can be for anyone to jump in and answer if Ray now needs a water break. She's doing all the talking, but she may know this as well.
Well, I do, because
to bring her home, how does this get paid for?
Well, there's this plan that's very comprehensive. And like I said, we've had to do it the Western way with a cultural component in it. It's never been done before, including a cultural component. They've done this with Keiko, but it's been Western science and biologists. This is the first time we're saying there's kinship. So you have to have a cultural component. We've done that. We have renowned scientists, biologists, and agencies, some unofficially, that have put their stamp on it because they have to go through this hierarchy to actually say, U.S. Navy, NOAA. but they individually have weighed in and have given us a thumbs up. And when I say comprehensive, it goes from the green light when we have custody of her to the immediate independent health evaluation of where is she, what is her health status, begin that healing, do a behavior analysis, bring in our lactamus spiritual folks to help work on her spirit. That begins day one. But a lot of this is dependent on Sk'ali'Ch'elh-tenaut. It'll be her telling us how quickly we can move forward from healthcare, behavior, spiritual, training to go into the sling, training and getting strong, ready for transport. Because our plan calls out that she will be flown, and this is what I was saying, is first class. She'll have her own plane, you know, an aircraft carrier from Miami to Seattle, to Bellingham International. A truck will take her to a barge that will take her to her Sk'ali'Ch'elh-tenaut, her home. So we have all of those steps laid out, but it depends on Sk'ali'Ch'elh-tenaut how quickly we move. We have to be in balance with her, and we're ready, but we are looking for financial assistance because there's a lot of cost to acquiring the water site, to the equipment, to making contracts with people that need to be on her team, to be there day one, to be there when she gets here, to stay with her. We've got that team identified. We have dollars identified. And that's where it's been really important to broaden this advocacy and to bring stars that have access to deep pockets like Cher and others, so that when the green light's given, we're already building that home. We've come, we know what we need to build it. We know how much money we need. I'm feeling really good about where we're at, but Heishka for saying we need the funding, we do.
And just so folks who are watching are aware, we did put the GoFundMe link into the comments there. And I think every one of us who's on today can share when we're complete. We'll share that to our own pages and groups so that you guys can share that as well. Here's another question. This is a good one. Who has the power to have an independent vet examine TokiTV? Is it the mayor herself, or how do we get approval for that?
I can answer that because we're right there at that point. You know, we had to know some of these answers before we made the request. And just like her licensing transfer of ownership is the same way, there needs to be agreement on the vet. You know, USDA, MSQ, the Dolphin Company, the Miami-Dade Board of Commissioners is making that recommendation to the mayor. So those are the people that have the authority to sign on the dotted line to get her the help. And we have a list of experts ready, you know, to provide them. This is who.
And I'm not sure if this is for you or Howard. I know you guys are working with the Whale Sanctuary Project. How long will it take to make the CPAN?
The actual construction of her Lummi home will not take that long to construct. You know, it's been done before, but this is, you know, new updated configuration and, you know, specified for her. So the actual construction is not that long. Where the time delays could and may be, but we've already started this work, is with the state and federal agencies that have to do the permitting.
Thank you. And I think we kind of answered this, but is the Whale Sanctuary Project involved?
Yes, they formally signed on as partners with the Sacred Lands Conservancy a couple of years ago, and we contracted them to develop this comprehensive Lummi plan for her. And when there's questions with USDA questions that have to do with the science and the biology and that, we defer to them to answer that. So they're standing right with us. They're holding our hand. We're one. We're grateful.
Thank you so much. I think that's kind of it for the questions for now, but we can definitely answer some more in the thread. So if folks here on the panel want to go through the thread and answer some questions, I know we're going to wrap it up, but I want to do a special thank you. And for everyone who watched and who emailed me and made sure they had the link, and people emailed me to make sure they had the link because they didn't want to miss today. Right now, thank you so much, Lawrence, Howard, Siamuet, Uncle Doug, and Freddie. I do want to say, I do want you guys to know why I'm involved or how I'm involved, but I've been involved in when in 2017, I think it was 2017, maybe 18, they were bringing the totem pole back from Miami, Uncle Doug and Freddie did a post, and Freddie, I just want to acknowledge you because you being on social media has brought so much awareness to so many people and brought so many people together for this. He made a comment that he was stopping at the Frontier restaurant here in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and I turned off my stove as I was making dinner and ran out the house, and I went and had dinner with them, and we did prayers around the totem pole, and immediately we became family. They invited me out to Lummi for tribal journeys, and I went, and I just had a fabulous time. You can see here my honor blanket that I keep doing the sideways thing that Uncle Doug gave me after tribal journeys, and just acknowledging that what he said was that I was a piece of the puzzle, and everyone here is. We're all here for a reason. We're all here gathered today for a reason, not just the folks on the panel, but all of you watching. So I just want to say thank you. And Freddie, you're modest, but you're
amazing
and powerful. And so thank you for your voice and doing this.
Thank you. I just want to turn the mic over real quick to Uncle Sid Kikadim in Siamuet. She's got some pictures that their class drew, and I'm going to hand the floor over to Siamuet. Go ahead.
Okay, switched out the mic. Yeah, so thank you everyone for this opportunity to come together on this beautiful day, this beautiful World Whale Day, this day that we all come together as one family. And I appreciate the Freddie showing the pictures of these beautiful whales. They're drawn by 5-year-old and 6-year-olds from my kindergarten classroom. They heard about, I let them know that Sk'ali'Ch'elh-tenaut wasn't doing so well. So these are get well cards for her. And so we're just sharing them with our family here today from children from the Lummi Nation. They're just like we, Sk'ali'Ch'elh and Tomas are Lummi elder women who are stepping forward and speaking on behalf of the Sk'ali'Ch'elh daughter. These young children step forward and use their powerful voice to speak up for their relatives from the beginning of time. We have stories of origin that speak about how the Quomistan and Lakamish are related. Its own relation is through the Sk'ali'Ch'elh. The Quomistan once walked on earth. They were the four-legged, and they went out into the ocean, out to the Sk'ali'Ch'elh to make room for us, the two-legged. And here we owe them. We owe them gratitude for letting us have a place to be here on the land surrounding the Sk'ali'Ch'elh. So we take care of each other. They take care of us. We take care of them. And so we come together as one family together today to think about what we could do. Like Annette said, we all are a piece of the puzzle. Whatever we can do, it starts from the heart, one mind, coming together. I so much appreciate the pictures that speak with the softness and the hardness of these crayons and the crinkly papers. It all just tells us that we all speak. We all speak. We all have a voice. And I just encourage everybody to use your voice, however that is, to be strong, be hopeful, be in prayer. We can't give up on our faith. And it doesn't matter. I mean, like in faith, I don't mean in faith of knowing which church we come from, but understand our relationship as one family, and our faith as the commandment from God to take care of each other. As the humans, we know we were last. The winged ones, the ones in the sea, the four-legged, they're all here before us. And yet we were commanded to take care of them. And I hope that we could all say that we did the best that we can as Deatomson, that we truly did do all that we can. I appreciate also what Howard was saying when he was speaking on the intelligence and the institutional, the DNA knowledge that Sk'ali'Ch'elh-tenaut has, is that when she comes back home, the law of nature is going to provide for her. There's nothing that we need to worry about her, that she won't know how to fish, that she won't know how to breathe, that she won't know how to swim and clean herself. She'll have all of these opportunities when she's back at home. And we have to understand that where she's at now defies law of nature. And she was meant to abide by law of nature. And so we want to restore her to her wellness, restore her to her opportunity. It would be horrid to think of her to be in that hot sun one more summer, like how she had to endure for 52 summers already in Miami. We were down there last summer in July, and it was sweltering, and it was so pitiful to see her in that weather. And she lives in that day in and day out. We have to remember she has a home, and we're her first relatives. We're her first relatives, the Galactimus people, and we're speaking on behalf of her, our relatives, and we honor our relationship. We honor our relationship with our relative, Sk'ali'Ch'elh-tenaut. We are from the Sailor Sea. Sk'ali'Ch'elh-tenaut is from the Sailor Sea. Her relative that she was in a tank, Hugo, also is Quilmeston. And we can never forget what they did to him when they no longer could benefit from him. They just took him and threw him in the dump. And they had no honor for her. And the people at the Sea Aquarium claimed they love her. And we have to remember that if you love somebody, you won't imprison them. And we know that freedom is love. And so we're praying for her opportunity to be free, where she belongs in the Sailor Sea, to choose who she loves. We all have the right to choose who we love. She has no one to love. She has absolutely no one to love there in that prison that she's in. She has a family waiting for her. And we just must continue in our prayer and our hope that she is coming home. Because these pictures that are drawn by these children that Freddie is holding, they're counting on us. They're counting on us to use our voice to speak up. Their powerful voice is spoken. We have a powerful voice to speak. And we're all pieces of the puzzle. So thank you all coming together today on this beautiful day, that we could all pray together and be hopeful together. Naishka. Sikikita.
Sk'ali'Ch'elh-tenaut. I thank my Stalis Siamoit and all of you out there that have joined us today. What I want to explain to you is the first time we've heard about our whale down in Miami again, you know, that one was brought to our attention, what she's been going through. We were on a journey heading for Standing Rock, and we stopped in Seattle, and then we made our way to Portland. And we were at St. Paul's Cathedral down there. We had a gathering there, and when we were getting ready to wrap it up down there, we had a lady come to us there, and she says, well, I heard that Lummi was here in Portland. And so I was living in Vancouver, Washington, she said, and I had to come and find you and tell you, you know, that I received this message 2 years ago, she said, and I've been carrying it ever since, not knowing who to give it to. Said I was living on the San Juan Island when this message came to her. She said, I'm a dreamer and a receiver of messages, and said that this message that came to her telepathically was sent to her from a young lady, young girl, approximately 14 years of age, out of New York. She was Down syndrome, and she kept saying that this whale has been reaching out to her, sending out a message. She hearing it over and over. The whale is crying out and asking, is there anybody out there that can hear me? Anybody out there that can hear me? I want to go home. I want to go home. Anybody help me go home? And so this lady's name was Jennifer. She said that I didn't know who to give this message to, but it was sent to me over and over. So 2 years she carried it, and she came to us and asked, is there anything that Lummi could do to help this whale come home? And at that time, you know, I told her, Jennifer, I don't think that we can do anything right now, saying we're on this journey and we have to stay the course. So she, I said, I tell you what, Jennifer, I says, let's put it to prayer and see where it goes. And so we did, we prayed on it. And prayer was proven to us that it's really powerful, because it kept opening one door after another for us to learn more and more about the plight of our whale, our relative down there. And she's been reaching out telepathically. She does have the community to reach out to those that have the ears to hear her cry. And so she's been putting the message out over and over through the years, and there's people that have been relaying these messages to us that this whale's been spiritually reaching out and asking for help and wanting to go home. So one door after another kept opening, and so it brings us to where we're at today. We're going around the world and asking you to continue to pray for all those that have been in captivity. They do have a family. They do know what it's like to be loved. And they spend their whole lifetime in their family environment. And all she wants to do is go home and be with her family, her mother. Her grandmother just passed just 2 or 3 years ago, a couple of years ago, I saw, you know, and we heard that she was 104. she has a chance to spend time with her family in the Salish Sea. And all we're asking is to allow her to choose where she wants to spend the last days of her life. It doesn't have to end in that little cement pond that she's been in. We don't want to go down there and bring a corpse back home. But if that's what comes down to it, if we have to, we will come and get her if she passes away there. But we will bring her back to the Salish Sea and allow her spirit to flourish with her family here. That's where we're at with it, you know. But you know, we're just asking all of you to lift her up in prayer. Let's see, avoid this plight of her ending there in that aquarium. So we're asking once again and saying Haishka to all you that came forward, all of you that are learning about this. Pay attention, because it's up to the humans to speak up for these ones that don't have the voice. The salmon are crying out. They want to get back to their spawning beds. They can't get past these dams. The dolphins have been crying out, wanting their little relatives to come home. These mammals are very, very intelligent. And so from the bottom of our hearts, we're saying Haishka to all of you out there, raising our hands up to each and every one of you, thanking you for taking the breath of time out of your lives here today to share this time with us. Osiam, Haishka.
We're all related. We're all interconnected.
To all our relations.
We're the salmon people. We're all related.
Haishka.
ACM. I think you have to mute. Thank you, CM. Annette, we got a back feed here.
Yeah, gonna have to remove, might have to remove them from the stream there. Let's see if that helps. A lot of folks are asking if there's, if we're recording this video and if they can watch it again. Yes, I did put a comment there. If you didn't see it though, it'll be saved here on the Orca Network Lolita TokiTV page. And I have a recording as well. So if for some reason you can't find it, just shoot me an email or a messenger and I'll get it to you. You want to try your mic now?
I guess we'll ask for some final comments, just a real round robin. We got about 17 minutes for our 2-hour broadcast. Just closing words. We'll do a little roundtable here, and let's start with Alejandro. Thank you. Thank you for the live video from the sea prison there at the amusement park. Go ahead, Alejandro.
No, it was my pleasure, and it took me 45 minutes to come home. So I'm here right now. Yes, like always said, I support the Lami people 100% with my heart. We're gonna fight together, and we will not stop until bringing Lolita home. You know. So we urge Miami Aquarium to do the right thing. There is a plan in place for her rehabilitation. We are asking for an expert vet who can really check Lolita's health condition, and after she heals, she can go home. You know, there is a plan in place to do that. So thank you so much, everybody, for attending this event.
Thanks, Alejandro. Howard, thank you for being with us.
Thank you, Freddie and Annette and everyone for going through all of the steps that it takes to make this happen. I know there's a lot of stresses and unknowns involved, but I think it's come out beautifully. Everything has just been so well said and so inspirational, so heartening, so energizing. I really feel your spirits, and this is what is making things happen. And as Raynell Sk'ali'Ch'elh has said, some very important, very positive steps have been made in just the last week or so. The news has been devastating, but the real steps have been very positive. Things can really happen, and we really don't know if there's any real problem in the way. There have been a lot of reports, a lot of insider reports, but we don't have any facts. We don't have the medical story. We don't have everything signed on. The public has come to believe that, oh, she's so sick, but I don't think she is so sick. And we have now support from places that we never had before. I would say from the Miami-Dade County government and in other places. The Dolphin Company is kind of an unknown right now, but they're saying some good things, some cooperative things. And they've never, the management of this aquarium has never said anything before, anything positive. So this is a very good time right now for this whole project, this whole wish, this prayer of ours to come true. So thank you, everyone, for being a part of this. And I am honored to be here. Thank you.
Hi, Scott. Thank you, Mr. Garrett. And you could find him at the orcanetwork.org. Mr. Lawrence Curtis, Mr. Underwater Man, Mr. Our Aquaman. We're going to give him the Indian name Aquaman. This is our Aquaman raising our hands. That video, I just want to say, touched my heart. It was so beautiful. And when we seen it earlier, it really made me cry just to see that beautiful family that you captured and their beautiful dolphin smiles. Lawrence, a few words, CM, my friend.
Thank you very much. And thank you to this beautiful group of panel. Everyone on the panelists, I consider my dearest friends and family, and everyone that's tuned in. Thank you so much. I'm going to say something quickly because I don't think people really kind of know a little bit of my backstory. I did early on from 2000 to 2004. I was in Taiji, Japan with my mentor, and we were really the first to ever document what was going on there. Fortunately and unfortunately, I'm no stranger to these kind of atrocities. That is what helps motivate me. And if I can help motivate and point people in the right direction for their own involvement and plan. And as I had mentioned earlier, what is important is that we really harness this emotions, and we learn from the lessons of the whales to take a pause and to then collect. And Freddie just mentioned about the beautiful dolphin family. They're highly social. They are, again, they're just so much like us. It is incredible. But we are forming, and everyone that has been involved today around the world, we are joining our voices, and there is really positive movement. And Howard had just mentioned, this may look like a setback in some ways, but it is not. It's a movement of progression, but the urgency is there. And Sk'ali'Ch'elh-tenaut has called out, and all of us that are listening are part of this. And again, I'm happy to to help anyone answer some questions, or family members or families out there that want to help better answer some questions that their children are obviously having and going to have. And I'm not blessed with being a parent myself, but I understand a lot of those blessings and challenges that families face when they try to find something to engage their children. And I hasten to use the word entertainment. Cetaceans, dolphins, and whales are not bits for entertainment. And I think we all can understand that. But again, I'm very, very honored. I will be traveling next week under permit, working on a research boat for a shark project, but it will be in waters with orca. And if the orca allow me, and we'll be working under a permit, of course, science permit, then maybe I can help bring back some footage and photographs of orcas swimming wild. Because often we get a little tired of seeing these orcas swimming in captivity, and to really juxtapose it with what they truly, truly are. And it would be my honor to have that opportunity and then bring it back to everyone. But everyone's doing the right thing. We're doing the right thing. Let's just get the Seaquarium and the powers that be and the Miami officials to do the right thing as well.
Today is our World Whale Day of Prayer, and we're going to continue. Just thank you, brother, for your good work, and continued blessings, as we say from our Clackamas people. We don't give a round of applause, okay? We can do that, but we raise our hands. We raise our hands to you and your good work, and you're so blessed. I'm a photographer and documentary filmmaker as well, and you're just an inspiration to a lot of us. And I hope your continued blessings with the good work that you're doing, what you love, and we love following you. He's at Lawrence Curtis on Facebook. If you're not friends with him, he probably won't accept your friend request. I'm just kidding. We love Lawrence. Thanks, Lawrence.
I love you, brother.
Appreciate you for being here. And Miss Deb Cruz, our friend from the Unitarian Fellowship here in Bellingham. I just want to put a plug in for her and our friends. When we came to Miami this past summer on the Red Road to DC, Deb Cruz here, she's here in the North Salish Sea in Clackamas territory. And she helped us with logistics, and we made new friends down there right now, just in case anybody's going down there. We want our friends in Miami. But Deb Cruz, few words, my friend. She is a woman of few words. She didn't even have a word. Don't you love Deb Cruz? Round of applause for Deb. Thanks, Deb. And right now.
Hi, Sk'ali'Ch'elh. This is beautiful. I know there are only 8 squares on your screen, but know and trust that there's millions of people that pray and advocate for our Salish Sea daughter, Sk'ali'Ch'elh-tenaut. I don't do what I do alone. I have my community, my tribal sister. We call ourselves a pod. I have an extended family from around the world that is helping me stand up. And what we need to do now is stay vigilant, stay strong, keep a strong prayer, and believe that her time is coming. Her light is getting brighter. We are coming for her. Ask her to ready her spirit. Ask her to stay strong. Her mother wants her home. Her family wants her home. You want her home. Together we will. I love you all. Love and respect.
Hey, Sam.
Beautiful.
Annette, my friend.
I think everyone's heard a lot from me today, trying to moderate and all that. But again, I'm just so grateful. I'm in a huge space of gratitude for all of you and all of you watching. We're all here. We're all in this together. I do, reading the comments just got me inspired all over again. So for you panel members here, you might want to go back and watch the replay and see all the wonderful things that the folks who are out there fighting, praying, loving, sending energy. Beautiful comments in the thread. Thank you all so much. And a quick plug for Lawrence Curtis. If you didn't see my comment, I was Googling him, and what a cool TED Talk. Thought that was really, really cool.
Geez.
So yeah, you guys
It
should
was-
check
Don't get his
It was
head going.
the
His
only
head is
impromptu
well now.
It was the only impromptu talk in TEDx history. I was sweating, and luckily it was, well, I say luckily, it was video recorded. I would have probably done better in an audience, but I didn't prepare.
Wow.
So, but when you speak from your heart and you have your ancestors and all of nature around you, and what that message was about taking a pause so we can be present in nature with all the insurmountable problems going on. This included, we take a pause so we can gather. And so when we gather, we can then act.
Thank you so much. And Howard, and I mean, just when I put on the little blast that we were going to be having this, I said there was going to be a powerhouse panel, and I think you all can agree that that is definitely what showed up here today. Thank you all for being here and being panelists, and just for everything everyone's doing. This is your family. This is our love. She's my heart. And so just thank you very, very much. And thank you everyone for watching.
And we'll close with our beloved. Thank you, Annette. I want a round of applause for Annette, because I let her know yet last night that I couldn't do anything until noon today. And literally with my experience, thanks to our friends at Northwest Indian News, I was a reporter. And back when some of you old timers might remember, here at Lummi, we did Freddie Lane Live, where we had actually people called in, but this was a lot of fun. Annette, thank you for just an awesome job. And Deb Cruz, these are the two techs behind the scenes here with our World Whale Day, February 20th, 2022. I'm Sk'ali'Ch'elh, thanking each and every one of you participating around the world. Thank you for your comments. Remember, mark your dates for March 22nd, 2022. And this is going to be the first of many prayers that we're going to do on a weekly basis. Hint, hint, Uncle Doug. For Lolita, even if we spend an hour, this is our premiere 2-hour World Whale Day. And we're here for Lolita. We're here for Sk'ali'Ch'elh-tenaut, for Toki'Tai, and that baby that was taken from her home in the Silly Sea down in Penn Cove back in the early 1970s. And so my heart to everyone who's watching from the North Salish Sea to Albuquerque to New Mexico to Miami to Whidbey Island to the east side and the west side and the north side of our Lummi Indian Reservation. I'm going to pass the floor over to Uncle Doug, James from the House of Tears Carvers, Sidki Kadam, Siam away for our closing prayer, and then we'll close with the video immediately right after. Siam.
Once again, to everyone out there, we can't thank you enough for your love and support. And that with all the prayers that have been going out, it's going to make this happen, to bring this beautiful girl home. So we'd like to close with a a song that was left to us back in the early 90s. This minke whale beached herself upon our beaches here. And as she was dying, her last few heartbeats, the song that she left us with, it's called the Sk'ali'Ch'elh-tenaut. And what that song means is to be of one heart and one mind. And so we'd like to share that song that we received back in the early 90s there. And this came from the minke whale that died there. So the Sk'ali'Ch'elh-tenaut. Aishka. I want to thank all of you once again. Howard, all of your crew down in your area there. Lawrence, Alejandro, Annette, Deb Cruz, Sk'ali'Ch'elh-tenaut. What? If I said that wrong, I owe you 50 cents. But
Been a profitable day. I have $1 so far.
Sk'ali'Ch'elh-tenaut. So with that, we can't thank you all enough. And all of you that has taken this breath of time to come on board, for this world prayer for our whales here, So we're just saying Haishka once again. Thank you. Osia. One heart and one mind.
We love you all.